Good afternoon, collectors. Greetings from Minnesota. Winter is slowly crawling along. It's snowy, cold, blustery in here in Minnesota. In fact, as I look out the window right now, it is snowing. And I said to someone just a few minutes ago, looks a little bit like our fresh fallen snow. The flakes are really tiny and light and a little more airy than our real plastic snow. So if you don't live anywhere where there's snow, if you just sprinkle a little of our fresh fallen snow, that's what it looks like out our windows, and it'll be fun to get off of our cars before we go home tonight. The last time I was with you, I was happy to share a little bit about some of our new 2020 pieces, and we took a little look around our showroom at some of the pieces. Today I want to spend a few minutes and show you the 5 numbered limited editions that we've selected for 2020. And while we were getting things set up here, Nate said, have they always been numbered with a number on the bottom? And I said, that brings up a really good question for someone who might be new to collecting. What's the difference between a numbered limited edition and a year of production piece? They're both limited. A numbered limited edition, of course, will have a little stamp on the bottom, and it will say number 001 of, and then we tell you right up front how many pieces we are making in that series. A piece that is limited to year of production will be whatever the factory comfortably can make in one production period. So that will vary from factory to factory and from edition to edition. So that's the difference between a numbered limited edition, which you know how many pieces, that's a very finite number, to a year of production piece. Both limited, but limited in different ways. And it's very typical for collectible companies to choose either one or the other. So this year we have 5 numbered limited edition. They're hand numbered. There'll be a little stamp on the bottom of the piece, and then someone actually sits and hand numbers the individual numbers on the bottom of each one. Is one worth more than the other? It's hard to say. If they're harder to find, they are worth more. Is a lower number worth more than a higher number? Not necessarily. Anything that is a numbered limited edition is generally considered quite sought after and quite valuable. And if you see some of these pieces that you like and want to make sure you don't miss out on them, write them down. Make sure you tell your retailers. We do have the brochures available, so they are the same price as they were last year. And what happened this year, the numbered limited editions did not get marked, did not get keystoned in our brochure. So if you want to go through and look as we go through these pieces and mark them, you can certainly do so. That way you'll have the information on the pricing and the item numbers, and you can check with your retailers to see if they're going to be getting them and how many they're going to be getting. So each of these pieces that I'm going to show you will be limited to 2,500 pieces, so that's 2,500. And we'll start with the original Snow Village. And bring that one up here. We did show you this briefly last time. I want to make sure we plug it in and show it to you. I think this is another one of our fish houses, and if you're from anywhere up north here where we have fish house season, this is really a cute piece. And some of our fish houses here in Minnesota are quite elaborate. We have, this one has a clock so that you know what time to be home so your wife doesn't get mad at you. We have a little propane tank on the side here. You can see most of these fish houses do have some sort of heater inside. Sometimes it's a coal burning stove. Sometimes they'll use a tank of propane gas. Sometimes it might be a little wood burning stove on the inside. And if you look inside, now this one is a little fancier one. It has they probably have some used doors that they took off of someplace, and so you can see outside. And if you look inside, and the collectors really do seem to like to have a little look inside to see what's going on. There's 2 fishermen, and they each have a line drop through the floor of the fish house Very often there are big holes that they drill into the floor of the fish house so that they can drill into the ice so it's a little warmer in there for them. In Minnesota, you have to put your name and address on your fish house so that the DNR knows who these fish houses belong to, because there is a date that you have to take them off the lake, and I believe it's usually the end of February. Up north it might be a little later, depending on how thick the ice is. Once the ice gets down to less than a foot in thickness, it's a little precarious, and your fish house really doesn't want to end up at the bottom of the lake, because you'll have to get it out of there or you'll be fined. So having the name and address of the person that it belongs to is essential. And you do have to register your fish house in Minnesota. And it's always a good idea to have your name and address on there, because then the pizza delivery guy knows where to deliver the pizzas. And yes, they do that here. And you can see here on the side, when I was looking at it, I thought, boy, they really went into detail. There's a little rope here on the side, and that's usually what they use to pull the ice shack on and off the lake so that they can put it up on the trailer and then drag it back to their house to save for next year. So that's the Home Sweet Home Fish Shack, which is going to be a numbered limited edition for the Snow House, for the original Snow Village series for 2020. These have been very, very popular, and they're little, so you can see it's a smaller footprint. It's really a neat little piece. So I will unplug that one, because the next one I'm going to show you uses the same light cord. And that next one, this one actually just uses a regular light cord. And this one is the Russell Street Books. Now you're probably thinking, well, gee, we already had Russell Street Books. That was the last piece that Barb Lund designed for Dickens Village, and she had several places that she did an open house and signing event. Three of our big retailers last fall. Did this get turned on? Have this light on here? This is one that's not working. How about that? Huh. Well.
How about open the switch there?
Oh well.
This switch.
Well, how about that switch? Thank you, Nick.
There you go.
Oh. I'm not an electrician, but I play one on TV. This is my first time doing this. Right. No, not really. Okay, there we go. Now it's lit. I forgot that I had to turn a light switch on over here. But there are a lot of differences. Barb specifically asked us if we would make a second version of this piece. The mold is the same. We've kept the name the same, but there's a lot that's different. The stucco color is different. The trim color is different. The porch tiles are different. The door is a different color. The one she did last year for her 3 special signing events had some gold accents on it. That is different, not on this one. I think there was some gold on the chimney. So there are quite a few differences. And this is one of those pieces that, while it is a Dickens Village piece, I think will look wonderful in Christmas in the City as well. It is one of those tall, narrow buildings that you can use in a lot of different villages. And if you don't remember the story that I told you about this, the name really does have significance for Barb and for the Lund family. Russell Street is the name of the street. Actually, it was Russell Avenue in Minneapolis, where the Lund family grew up, and Neeland and his wife Ruth and their 3 daughters lived. And Neeland's first wife, Ruth, was an English teacher, and she had just a real love of books. And when Barb designed this piece, it was truly a tribute to her mother, who she missed very much. So this is the Russell Street Books, and this is the numbered limited edition for 2020. There will be 2,500 of these made, and then no more. It's very typical of shops and residences found on busy streets in Dickens's time. And, bookstores themselves are really starting to disappear, with so many of us buying our books online. But I still love to go to a bookstore and turn the pages and feel the paper that the books are written on and look at new releases and bestsellers and old classics. And this definitely reminds me of that. So that is the bookseller, the Russell Street bookseller. I love that piece. Next piece I'm going to show you is, make sure I get these in the right order. This is the Harry Jacobs Jewelers. Now this is not a sample. And I guess I need my light switch from this one. But before I put the light on, turn the light on here, I want to show you a close-up of the bottom because this is the actual number 1. You get a good view of that one, Nate?
Hold still. Yep, got it.
Okay. I didn't think I was jiggling it too much, but you never know. So this is Harry Jacobs, designed by Tom Bates. It's for Christmas in the City. This is one that you will not find on the secondary market because we always retain 2 pieces in our archives. We keep the number 1, which is what this one is, as you saw the number on the bottom, and we keep the number 56, both for obvious reasons. So Jackie Geiger wanted me to show you what that hand-numbered limited edition stamp looks like in case you've never seen it on a piece. This is really a lovely piece. Turn the bulb on. Got it. There we go. That makes the piece look much nicer. Tom is really particular when he designs these pieces. He really looks at the architecture. He loves this historic architecture. He makes sure he gets all of the details just right. And he does a lot of research when he's putting these together. And with the usage of Google and looking at things online, it makes his work much, much easier. He's able to go online, and if he's got an idea, he can simply Google it and come up with many, many, many ideas. And when he was coming up with a name, he kind of liked the idea of using a man's name, like Harry Winston or Marc Jacobs or Louis Tiffany. And so he combined a couple of those together and got Harry Jacobs, and it stuck. He said it was his working title, and when he took the idea to the production meetings, he said, I really want to keep this name. I think it sounds good together, and it just fits with this building. And I love the fact that it is a gray stone building as well. Really nice with a mansard roof up here. Really a lot of detail. And as you can see in the front windows, there are some display cabinets with some fine jewelry there. And there's even a billboard on the sign showing Harry Jacobs and Santa in a purple outfit. I'm not sure why he's in purple, but there you go. Of all the numbered limited editions this year, I think this has got to be my favorite, and I think Nate has also expressed an interest in really liking this particular piece. This is for North Pole, and this is Luna's Luminaries. And the accessory that goes with it is equally cute. It shows some elves lighting up some of the luminary bags. And I'm sure you've seen this tradition carried out in many places, but it originally started in the Southwest, and our Snow Village, our head Snow Village artist, Scott Enter, decided that he really liked this isn't Scott Enter, this is Paul Lundberg. I apologize. Luminaries, are paper bags that are filled a couple of inches on the bottom with sand to keep them from blowing away, and then you put an actual lighted votive on the inside. Some people use those battery operated ones, but they started out using an actual candle in each one, and people would line their driveway or line their sidewalk, and whole subdivisions got involved with this down in Arizona and New Mexico. And they have to come from someplace, so they come from Luna's Luminaries up in the North Pole. I just think this is just a stunning piece. Lots of neat LED lighting on it. And I think on the back there's something really cute too. By the delivery door, there are some cases there with bags and candles, and they both come in 56 packs. So I think that's really cute. It just shows some of the little detail that we really use when we're designing these pieces. Paul Lundberg has just done a fabulous job with some of the new North Pole pieces, and he is now the primary artist for that series. Now I will talk to you about Scott and his crazy, crazy ideas that he always has for Snow Village Halloween. I did promise you a look at Halloween this week, and while we're still missing a couple of pieces in our big display, I do have this one to show you. And this is when Scott first started doing the Snow Village Trick or Treat Lane with over-decorated houses. The idea came about that, gee, we should do something like this for Halloween as well. So Scott started this just a couple of years ago, and this year, nice, unassuming little ranch house has been redecorated to look like the cemetery house. They've put this facade in front. I bet they probably carved it out of styrofoam, and they've made cemetery tombstones, and they've put, probably some black artificial crows, and they've got a Grim Reaper with his lantern out front, and I'm sure the kids are going to all want to trick or treat at this house. And I love the use of leaves on the roof instead of using snow, so that's a really added thing that's very important for Halloween. And this is also going to be a numbered, limited edition, numbered to 2,500 pieces. So if you're collecting the Snow Village Trick or Treat Lane, you want to make sure you get this one to add to your series. And remember, if you come up with ideas that you think would be great to be added for this or for the Snow Village Trick or Treat series, send them along to us at Miss Lit Town, and I'll make sure they get to Scott. He enjoys getting your ideas, and he does use them, and I know you've seen some of the things that he has used directly from your ideas. And after all, we want to have pieces that you really are enjoying. I wanted to end today with a couple of things that I didn't get to last time, so I'm just going to move this one over to the side. And I wanted to show you about a couple of accessory pieces that are new for this year that I think will make all of our lives a little bit easier. And that is this new LED light using the USB plug that you can unplug and plug in very easily. I'm not sure I have all the right terminology. If I say something wrong, Nate, you're going to correct me because I want you to. We are going to be using these more and more. This is a single light cord, and it comes with the USB port, and each one of these will have an on-off switch. Now that hasn't always been true of products that had an adapter with it previously. If it's going to have this USB cord, it will have an on-off switch, and I think that's a really nice addition. And they worked very hard at the factories to make sure that this light matches the light of a regular light cord. And there we have one that is lit. And it's a nice, soft, white light like you like to have in a lot of your pieces. So I'm just going to switch that off so we don't blind anybody. But they now are making these with an on-off switch in a 6-socket set. So you'll be able to get 6 lights on one USB cord. And they're also doing, this one seems to be kind of stuck to a 3-socket set. So just like we have the 3 and 6-socket light sets in regular cords, they are also going to have the 3 and 6 in the USB cord with LED lights. That means you never have to change bulbs, which in the long run, They will be cheaper to use because less electricity and no bulbs to change. So those are both good aspects for why we're going to be doing that. Any questions that we have, Nate?
Is Snots on the Run going to be available again this year?
Snots on the Run. That's such a funny name for a piece. That was an accessory that was made for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It is in the brochure this year, and it is still listed as a Platinum Retailer exclusive. So you will have to look for one of our Platinum retailers on our website and contact one of those retailers to get Snots on the Run. But yes, it will be available again in 2020.
Somebody asked the name of the Halloween piece with the purple lighting. I think, isn't that the bat?
That's the Bat House.
Yep.
That is correct. The one with the purple lighting right over here that you can see at the edge of the Halloween display. That is the Bat House, and that came out for the Christmas or for the Trick or Treat Lane series last year. So that was the 2019 piece. That's a good question. That's it. We will see you next time on February 6th. In the meantime, I hope none of you are having too much trouble taking your displays apart. Happy packing and happy winter. See you next time. Bye-bye.